You're listening to Rockin' Country Radio, today's hottest country and more. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to Rockin' Country Radio and a brand new month, brand new week, brand new month. And welcome, welcome, welcome. It feels like we've been off forever. I mean, gosh, it really does. And we had a nice long weekend, and it was wonderful. I tell you, what a way to send out summer and welcome in September and the coming fall season. Hope you had a wonderful, wonderful holiday weekend wherever you are. And if you're international and listening, you may not have had a holiday yesterday, but we hope that you had a great weekend nonetheless. It is a brand new week here on Rockin' Country. We are glad to be here, and it feels like Monday, even though yesterday was Monday. We had the day off, but today has felt like Monday all day, which is good because that means that Friday is coming even faster this week. And I know many of you live for your Fridays and your weekends, and it'll be here before you know it. But we want to welcome everyone to our show tonight. I'm your host, DJ Delta Dawn. Glad to be here with you, and glad that you're here as well. If you're brand new to our show, we are so glad that you chose tonight to stop by and check us out because you're absolutely going to love our guest. He is no stranger to us. We have had the privilege of chatting with him in the past, and probably about 6 months to a year ago, in fact. And he's been doing some great things in the world of country music since that time. So we definitely are looking forward to speaking with him tonight. But before we bring him on, I want to give you a little background on our guest, just so you have an idea of who he is, in case you don't know who he is. He absolutely embodies all things country, and he has one of the warmest personalities that I've ever met in anyone that I've ever known. And he is really down to earth. And to live in the South, you know what that term means. And he has won the 2013 Independent Country Music Association Award. He's had 8 months on the Roots Music Reports chart, international airplay, and live performances at CMA Fest, Rodeo Alaska, the Iltarod, the Grinder Switch Hour, Alaska State Fair, and Dan McGinnis's On Music Row, among countless others. He is a God-fearing road warrior with a warm baritone voice and love for all things Southern, has released his aptly titled Super Country Cowboy, and on this album he has created a tasteful blend of yesterday's traditional country roots and today's radio-friendly contemporary sounds. And I tell you, the things that he has done has just been phenomenal. And we are just so excited to bring to you tonight Tate Music Group artist Doug Briney. Hello, Doug.
Hey, Dawn, how are you?
I'm great. It's so good to talk with you again.
Well, you too. And I have to apologize right away. If we get cut off, we are having a very big lightning and thunder and rainstorm right now, and so power is glitching. Power is glitching, and if we get cut off, it's because the weather has done that to us. So I want to apologize in advance, just in case.
Well, I just want to tell you that if you would prefer to hang up and we do this at a later time, I don't want you to get electrocuted, in mid-interview. So if you would feel safer doing that, I'm totally fine with that, and because your safety is number one,
I think I'm okay. I don't think I'm connected through the cell phone, through my Bluetooth, and so I think I'm okay. But I just wanted to let you know, just in case something does happen weird. Power is glitching, and we're getting lightning strikes all around, so it's it's an exciting time.
Yeah, for sure. It certainly sounds like that. Well, we just had it should be storming here in North Carolina. We've had horrible humidity today, and the temperature has been in the mid-90s, and we've had such a pleasant summer, and then kind of as summer is being ushered out, it's leaving on a very angry note, I do believe. So I know lots of areas of our country are getting hammered with storms and such at the last minute. So so please be safe where you are, and if you're out there listening as well, please be safe because these storms are nothing to laugh at. I tell you, they're no joking matter, for sure.
There's quite a bit. I think the worst of it is past us, but it is still going on out there, that's for sure. So, all that aside, thank you again for having me back on, Dawn.
Oh, well, thank you. It is our pleasure, and it's such a delight to speak with you again. I know when we spoke before, we had a great time on air, just chatting it up and talking about your great music career. And it's like you've been so busy since we spoke last, so I guess we should just kind of play a little bit of catch up and talk a little bit about what's been going on in the world of Doug Briney and country music.
Oh man, well, trying to think exactly when we did speak. I think it was right after the National Universe Award show, or maybe right before that. We had the National Universe Award show took place in February, and I was really honored to be a part of that. I got to perform there. I was one of the top 5 nominees and for male vocalists, and so I had a great time with that. It was really good. We had several of the MTS management groups. Artists were there, and Michael Silver, my manager, got to come down and be a part of that, and Amy Rose, Josie Milner, Nick came all the way from Italy, from Milan, Italy, from the Whiskey and Cigarette radio program, came over, and he won International DJ. So we had a great representation. Matt came down from Canada as well. Matt Williams, and so we had a good representation from MTS, and had a lot of fun with that, and did did real well. So that kind of took place in February. Then I've been out on the road. I've been down to Texas a couple different times, down in Louisiana, up in Kentucky, Missouri, and Kansas. So I think is the states that I've been to and been performing in. Also Georgia. I was down in Georgia at the Cave Springs Music and Arts Festival down there. And that was on Father's Day, and had a good time. And I know that one because my daughter was here with me, and she got to go down with me for that festival, and had a good time driving with her and catching up, and it was just a great time. So that's, really what I've been doing is getting out, hitting the road, and doing a lot of performing out on the road. I am up for the 2014 the Independent Country Musicians Association, up for nomination on that. Have been nominated for Album of the Year there, and a couple other different awards, the INEA and then the Heritage Music Awards. I'm a nominee in that. So those award shows are coming up. I'll be in Kentucky in October, and I will be in North Carolina in November. So that'll be a show.
Oh, yeah. That is so cool. Where in North Carolina are you going to be, Doug? Because I'd love to try to get out to see you.
You're going to put me on the spot. It is it's the Heritage. It's the Artists Guild, the Heritage Music Awards. And so if you know where that is at, you're ahead of me right now, because I honestly do not remember exactly where that is at. I know it's in North Carolina. And I know it's called the Artist Guild Awards through or the Heritage Music Awards through the Artist Guild.
Well, you're in luck because I'm looking at your website right now, and it's going to be in Monroe, North Carolina. So
there you go.
I think that's down near Charlotte, which is about about an hour and a half from where I am. So definitely I will mark my calendar and try to get there on that date. That would be awesome to see you perform and just to meet you in person. I'd love it. Well, I tell you, suffice it to say, you have been one busy man since we spoke last, and I have to tell you, as you were kind of going through all that, and thank you so much for catching us up. I am so envious that you got to meet Nick, DJ Nick, all the way from Italy, because he is such an awesome guy, and for him to make that trip, for the awards, that was a feat in itself, and then to win. So yeah, you're one ahead of me. That is on my list of things to do, and I would love to meet him. What a great guy, and how lucky you were, indeed.
Yeah, he is a very cool guy, and just had a great time with him. He's every bit as funny and personable in person as he is just listening to. And the only other thing that I didn't mention, and I want to make sure that I do mention here, is The other thing we did is we released the second single off the album, Super Country Cowboy. We released that second on Memorial Day. We released Unknown Soldier as a second single, and we partnered up with Operation Troop Aid, and Operation Troop Aid, a great organization, gives back to our veterans as well as to sends care packages to our men and women who are in the active duty, and 100% of the profits from that song are going to Operation Troop Aid, and we were originally going to do that all the way through Labor Day, and we went ahead and extended that all the way through Veterans Day. We're getting 100% of the profits from that song. So that's a major thing, not an accomplishment, but a major thing that is going on right now, and that we're encouraging fans and folks to be a part of.
Well, I have to tell you, it's a great song, Doug. It's no secret how supportive you are of our troops and of the men and women who serve, and that song is just such a great testament to that. But, I love that song because it just really tells the true story of serving your country and being true to your country. And I think it's awesome that you're just donating all the proceeds, through yesterday, Labor Day. And so Operation Troop Aid is a wonderful organization, and I know they are just thrilled that you partner with them on this endeavor, and it's a great song. And for those of you listening out there, if you've not heard it, you will get to hear it before we wrap our show a little bit later. It's an awesome song, and I would encourage you to go and purchase that. Now, even though it's through Labor Day, if say folks, when we wrap here, they hear the song, they buy it, will the proceeds still go, or will that still, or is it just through yesterday?
We extended it. We extended it from Labor Day, and we extended it now through Veterans Day. So still 100% are going to there all the way through Veterans Day now, November 5 or 6. So, yeah, we really encourage folks, please go to the website, which is DougBriney.com, and download the song through there. Please do it through the website, not through iTunes or Amazon or those. And I say that because what folks don't think about is if they do it through iTunes or Amazon, I have to pay iTunes and Amazon, and then the publisher gets paid from them. And so the profits that come through iTunes or Amazon is very small. Where if they do it through the web page, I control that, and I've already paid for the licensing and paid for that distribution to the label. So the only person that has to get paid from that coming through there is just the actual transaction costs that it costs to process the payment. So it's a staggering amount difference. It's something like 92 cents goes to it if they do it through the website.
Wow.
Where if they do it through iTunes or Amazon, it's about 4.5 to 5 cents that goes.
Oh, wow.
So there's a big difference. And that's why we are encouraging everybody to please do it through the website, not through Amazon or iTunes.
Well, and I tell you, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because I don't think a lot of times, I think people think, those two music mediums, which are awesome, are the go-to place to purchase music, and they don't realize, just how much of a cut those two organizations get, and then the artists don't get as much as you would think they would. And when you think about how little it's costing to purchase a single song as it is, it just makes sense to go through the artist's website, so thank you for pointing that out. And I tell you, it is a great effort, and, not every artist has the liberty to be able to take a song that they've written and say, okay, for a period of time, we're going to donate 100% of the proceeds, because when you think about how much it costs you to make music, to record it, and the whole 9 yards, it's not cheap, so it's a great sacrifice on your part, and one that, is just so greatly appreciated. And I tell you, and on that note, you have got a great video out to this song, which I have seen many times. I love it. It is, again, it just kind of encompasses the song, tells a story. And talk a little bit about the making of that video, Doug.
Absolutely. The video was shot over in Spring Hill National Cemetery right here in Nashville. And we shot that, which is military. military cemetery, and we shot the video right there, several different locations throughout the cemetery. The biggest thing that I want people to know about that video is actually at the end of the video, you will see a man in uniform salute the tomb of the grave marker of an unknown soldier there. You'll see him salute, and you'll see him turn and march away. What people don't know is that is actually a good friend of mine, Howie Groot, and he did retire from the military, but Howie has Parkinson's, and he has Parkinson's so bad that he has to use a cane to walk. And in that video, for that video shoot, he put his cane down, and he did that shot without his cane, and you would never know that he needs a cane to walk because he mustered up the strength, and he wanted to be able to do that. He saluted that thing, and he made his left face, and he marched off from that scene without the cane, and it was just remarkable that he was able to do that. I think that's probably the coolest thing about the video is the showing the dedication that that our soldiers have. He mustered up a lot of strength to be able to do that, and he did it because of the love and the admiration that he has for our military and having served for a number of years himself.
What a neat story, and not only to be a personal friend, but to have, he wasn't some staged actor. I mean, he really served, right, which just kind of brings the video full circle, if you will. And, as I've watched the video, you're in the middle of the cemetery and all those, tombstones, the markers and so forth. What was that like for you personally? Because you are such a diehard supporter of our American troops. And, just to be in the midst of that cemetery shooting that video, for that song, gosh, I think that would, for me personally, it would be like patriotism, times 1,000. It kind of is the epitome of it, would you say?
Yeah, it was absolutely very emotional. It really was very emotional to be able to be there and do that. The middle of June, I had the opportunity. My two sons that live at home with us and myself got to drive to Washington, D.C. and to go visit our other son who serves in the Air Force, and he's actually over in Oman right now. We wanted to see him before he had to take off and go overseas. And so we had never been to Washington, D.C. before, and I had never been there. And so we got to go see him, but during that day, we went over to Arlington. And just the emotional thing to walk through there. But Spring Hill here in Nashville is a very emotional thing as well. I mean, I've talked with folks that have lived here their whole lives and know that cemetery from their childhood. And they said, at the time that cemetery, before Vietnam, that cemetery had roughly about 3,000 markers in that cemetery. After Vietnam, it has blossomed up over, and I'm probably going to say it wrong, but I believe it is now over 300,000 markers that are now in that cemetery. And the bulk of those came during Vietnam War. And when you walk through that cemetery and you see all of the markers that are there from all the different wars and from the different conflicts and from just the time periods and these men who have served, and then you do see I can take you to probably 9 or 10 grave markers that say unknown soldier. And folks, what that means is that body was not able to be identified. That's what it means. And to think about that for just a moment, that really causes you to pause. You've got families that from Vietnam. You have families from Korea. You have families still from World War II, and our Gulf War that don't know the fate. They pretty well know it, but to not know how it occurred and not know that because these men and women were there's no nice way to say it, so badly mutilated that they were not able to be identified is very It's very emotional, and I brought up Arlington because I got to go there, and we got to see the changing of the guard and to watch there at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, and it was just a phenomenal experience, and I learned a lot about the cemetery that I didn't know, and about the history there, and it's just kind of interesting. And I've never been a huge history buff as far as United States history and those type of things. Biblical history and that kind of stuff I know pretty well, but our U.S. history, I slept through most of those classes growing up. I have to admit. But to learn some of the history behind it in and through Washington D.C. and especially there at Arlington was absolutely fascinating to me, and to know what has taken place and how that all turned into Arlington. I never knew how that turned into Arlington, how that all came about, and it's just a really interesting story. And if listeners have never checked that out, let me encourage you, go visit and learn how all that came about. And it's just a fascinating story, but it is very, very humbling whenever you're in the midst of those places, and it's a very emotional time.
Oh, I've been to Arlington once in my life, and I've said from that time on that is a trip everyone should go take. I mean, even if you don't get to Washington for any other reason, go to Arlington National Cemetery, because that is where it really does put in perspective just how much men and women, how hard they fought for our freedoms, for our country, and until you stand in the midst and you go to that, you go to that Tomb of the Unknown Soldier there, and you see those soldiers doing, the 24/7 guarding of it, and all the different aspects of Arlington. It is just amazing and very stoic, very sobering indeed, and not to mention, like you said, incredibly emotional, because it's so reminiscent of Christ laying down his life for us. And you think about, our pastor often says, two men have laid down their lives for us, Christ and the American soldier, and that is so true. And and the respect, I think, sometimes is just not enough, because things could never be enough for what the men and women of our armed forces sacrifice and have sacrificed.
That's right, and it just brings it home until you see the rows and rows, and you're driving through, like here in Spring Hill, you drive through, and to drive through that large of an area just to keep seeing row after row after row as far as you can see in any direction. It's really an amazing thing.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. And even in my local community, we have, at our local cemetery, we have a very small, it pales quite considerably in comparison to where you are, but very small area for our, our deceased veterans and soldiers. And it's just, even still in that, I'm always just mesmerized when I go there, just to see the rich history, and you see the dates on the markers, and and you can tell where they served and what war, and it's just so steeped in such rich history, of our country. And and as you said, it is a great history lesson for anyone who doesn't know a lot about it. They should,
Yeah. Yep. And it's history. It's history, it's tradition, it's honor, it's all those things all wrapped into one, to be able to go through and see that.
Most definitely. Well, I tell you, the video is a great, great tribute to our soldiers and to the American soldier. The song is an awesome song. It's incredible, Doug. You did such a great job on both. And, our hats are off to you for, going that extra mile and just doing something that means so much to, not only those veterans who still reside with us, but the families of those that have lost loved ones in the midst of fighting for our country. What a great tribute, indeed.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Well, I have to ask, what is on the horizon? You know, I can't even believe, as I was talking at the top of the show, I can't believe that we're already into September. The holiday season is around the corner, and it's winding down so fast. It's almost, my head is spinning. I can't hardly keep up. What kind of plans have you got on tap, you know, forthcoming into 2015?
Oh, well, have I thought that far ahead? No, the reality is I want to be getting out on the road quite a bit more and doing some more touring around. 2015, we're trying to put together a European tour actually, and trying to get that nailed down. And that looks like it looks very promising. You know, we don't have contracts in hand yet, but we're very hopeful that that'll happen. So a lot of just getting out on the road and meeting with folks. That's the main thing that I'm going to be doing. Of course, we'll be releasing another single off of the album, and probably will mean another video. And Michael and I haven't talked for sure about which song that we're going to release yet, but we've kind of batted a couple things around and looking at that, but we'll be putting out a video with that as well. And so that's kind of what's ahead. A lot of being out on the road and hopefully a European tour in the mix there. I am still really, Don, I need your help there in North Carolina to get onto one of the bases there and to be able to perform at one of the bases. That's kind of on that. Well, it's not kind of. That's on my list of things that I really would love to be able to do. And
wow.
I need your help to be able to do that. Need to get me in contact with the right person there on bass that we can make that happen and, bring a band and have a lot of fun with the men and women who serve there and be able to do a show for them. That's something that is very high on my priority list. And so far I keep running into dead ends. Every time we're just running into those dead ends. We're not the huge Toby Keith name yet. Not that I don't know that we will ever be the huge Toby Keith name, but we want to do something for our troops. We want to do that, and to be able to be there would be a tremendous honor, and so that's one of the things that I'm working towards. Other than that, I've got some personal goals for my music. I've got some personal goals. One of my dream bucket goal lists. If everything in a perfect world, I am really working hard to play at the Opry before the end of this calendar year. And it's winding down fast. So anybody listening out there that has any connections there, please put that in too. And we're making all the connections. We're doing the right things. We're playing out as much as we can. We are continuing to grow the fan base, and I want to be out on the road meeting the fans and doing those things, and that's really what's on the horizon right now.
Well, we will definitely do what we can to try and help. I'll try to, get some information over to Michael about playing, because North Carolina has several military bases, and one of the biggest is Fort Bragg down in Fayetteville, and it would be awesome, to get you paired up with some other country artists that frequently play in North Carolina. And there's a couple of North Carolina artists, in fact, country artists that I don't know if they've actually played at any of the bases, but I know they play a lot of places in North Carolina. We have some great venues as well, Doug. So definitely we'll do what we can to try to get some information, and of course just continue to promote you out and promote your latest release and The Unknown Soldier, and let people know about the video, because it's too good not to hear it, too good not to see it. So people need to see it. I mean, it's just part of, I think, our American heritage. We need to see stuff like this so that we can have that reminder, and especially with September 11th coming up, that's such a somber day, even after all these years, and it always will be, but it also is a great reminder of just what a great nation we live in. And this song is just so perfect for that. It's an everyday type of song, a great American anthem. So, anything we can do for you, Doug, please let us know.
Okay, and you are right on the head. we're getting ready for September 11th, and I'm just, just reminded today. I don't get very political on my webpage or not my webpage, but excuse me, on Facebook very very often. Every once in a while I'll say something, but today we just had the second video coming out of another journalist that was beheaded by this group overseas, and I just tired of it, and we need to, I wrote kind of a action plan out for it. I said, the president was on television the other day and said he did not have a plan for this, and he doesn't know what to do. I mean, it was basically what he said. He has no idea what to do at this point. And I said, well, let me give you 6 things, and this is not a perfect plan, but by golly, we need to get something going. And I said, you can feel free. I said you can feel free to use it or not, but please do something. And we are coming up on September 11th, and I think it's a significant day for us as a nation, but I think it also is a significant day for these terrorists, because they look to that day and want to celebrate it again, and they want to do something, and I truly believe that they want to hurt us again. If we do not have this, if we do not have a plan, we're just sitting ducks, and
we are.
I am not blaming our president for the beheading of these journalists. I'm not blaming him at all, but at this time we need leadership, and there needs to be action taken, and we need to have a plan. And I was very disheartened the other day whenever he said that there was no plan. He didn't know what to do. That was very very disheartening and demoralizing to, I believe, our men and women who are in our service. I believe that was probably one of the biggest blows that could be dealt to them, and say, I'm not sure how we're going to use our military. I'm not sure how to do this. What to do. And, I don't have all the answers. I really don't. And I am grateful that I don't have to make those decisions, but I'm very grateful I don't have to make those decisions, but I really think that we need to be doing something more, and September 11th is coming, and I think we need to be, again, I come from a pastoral background and a service pastor, and so I believe in the power of prayer big time, and I think we really need to be bathing our prayer, our nation and our men and women in prayer right now, because I think something big is going to happen again within the next few weeks. And I hate to say that. I really do. I hate to say that. And I really, truly hope I am wrong. I would love to be wrong. But I would love nothing more than to be wrong about that, but I don't think I am. And there's a number of intelligence folks that don't believe that, that believe the same thing. So all that being said, all that being said, we need to bathe this country in prayer and our men and women. And for those of you that are serving, we thank you so much. We really, truly do. And our prayers and our support is behind you as men and women who serve 100%.
Yeah, well, I could not agree with you more, Doug. And, the best we can hope for is that what our president said the other day is maybe just kind of a falsification of what is really being planned behind the scenes, that he's not letting the enemy know, and that there will be a surprise attack of sorts and we will eradicate this problem. Or worst case scenario, this in fact is that he has no plan, and this is the absolute wrong message to send our enemies, because that just opens the doors for all kinds of further problems that could happen on our soil. And there's hints of this, and I think after today, if that doesn't get our administration's attention, that these guys in this this ISIS organization are not kidding when they say, I believe they would stop at nothing, because what they believe and what we believe are two completely different things. And of course, what they believe is what drives them to do these things based on their beliefs, and it's not right. And to me, when you take an American citizen's life for no reason, when we didn't enact, it's an act of war. and I think they have opened the door for us to just bomb them.
Well,
so it really. I think there are many Americans who definitely it resonates what you've said with so many people. I talk to my friends. We talk about this. I see it on social media. People are very, very disheartened, I think is a great way to describe it, because as we once were the most powerful nation in the world, and you, as the most powerful nation, you don't come out and openly admit, I don't have a plan, I don't know what to do. You fake it till you make it, if nothing else, but you don't admit that to the world,
Right. Well, I don't know how much time we have left, and I don't want to monopolize or begrudge this point too much or stay on this point too long, but let me read, if I can, just the post that I posted up there, and, because I think it's important. I said enough is enough. I said enough is enough. Another American beheaded, and what are we doing about it? Folks, understand, I am not blaming Obama for the beheading, but I am frustrated beyond belief that his policy on this is that he doesn't have a plan. He doesn't know what to do. Mr. President, at this time, we need leadership, and there needs to be action taken to protect American citizens wherever they may be. Here, sir, is a plan of action. Feel free to use it or not, but please do something. Number 1, stop all foreign aid to any country that wants to see us destroyed. Number 2, stop sending weapons to any country at all. We have developed these weapons for our defense, not so they can be sold and used against us. Number 3, close the borders now to our country, secure them with our men and women of our military, and give them the ability to defend our borders. Number 4, stand by Israel and realize she is our only friend in that region. Number 5, let the world hate us for it, but bomb these terrorists off the face of the planet. Give them no safe haven to run. And number 6, understand that the threat is very real here at home as well, and begin deporting those who have radical Islamic views. They have openly stated they want to destroy us as a nation, and then they have become enemies of us, and we should not allow them to live here freely. And I do understand and know that this is a slippery slope, but if they are openly aligned with our enemies, understand they are our enemies. Mm-hmm. Notice I did not say all who practice Islam. I said those who hold radical Islamic views. This is a start. Is it perfect? I'm sure it isn't. But, Mr. President, it is a start, and it's a plan right now, sir, not months from now. We need a plan. And then I even signed it, Doug Briney. So, I know it's a very oversimplification of things, and again, I'm glad I'm not the one that has to make those decisions. But I think if we could pull those 6 things off, I think I think the world would stop laughing, and I think, and I really do believe that much of the world is just laughing right now. And it pains me to say that because I do believe that we are, and we have been, and we should be the greatest nation on the planet. I do not believe that we are right at the moment, and that very much pains me. And the reason that we are not is because we have allowed others to mock us, and we have allowed this to happen. And I'm not blaming one person. Please understand me, and don't send me hate mail, folks, if you're on whatever side you are on. But I don't blame one person. This is a problem bigger than just one person. But we do need strong leadership, and I just don't see it right now, and don't see it at all. So that being said, there's my political rant for the day. I've said it twice now. I've said it on social media, and I have said it on the air. So I think I'm done with my political rant for the day. Whoops. Dawn, I may have lost you.
Hello. We are back, and we lost signal for just, let's see if we can get him back on the line. Hello, Doug?
There we go, Dawn. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Yeah,
It may have been on my end because I dropped briefly. I don't know how or why, but I did. But fortunately, I was able to get right back. But as I was wrapping up, I just want to say thank you so very much for just joining us this evening and taking the time to be back on with us. It's been great talking to you again, as always. And thank you also for sharing your views about what's going on in the world, because I second those wholeheartedly. And so we will continue to look for you out on the road and look forward to what's coming from you in the very near future, and hope that we'll be able to get out to see you when you're here in North Carolina. In the very
I would love
that. Well, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I would love that. That would be fantastic, and I do.
It would be awesome. Well, if there's anything we can do for you in the meantime, please don't hesitate to let us know. But thank you again for joining us this evening. It has been a sheer pleasure.
Well, Dawn, thank you again, and just a reminder to folks, please head to DougBriney.com. It's a 99 cent download to get Unknown Soldier, and 100% of those profits are going to Operation Troop Aid all the way through Veterans Day. So please head on over to the website and pick that up. And Dawn, thank you again for having me on, and let me express my viewpoint, whether they are part of the station identification or not.
That's perfectly fine. Thank you so very much, and take care. And I'm sure we'll be in touch with you again very soon.
All right. Thank you so much, Dawn. You have a great night.
You too. Take care. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Mr. Doug Briney, wonderful, wonderful artist, and I tell you, just as I said at the top of the show, a Southern gentleman, a real Southern gentleman, and always enjoy speaking with him. And if you would like to follow him online, you can. He is at Doug Briney on Twitter, and also on Facebook. You can find him at DB Songs, and you can keep up with him there and everything that's going on with him. He is a phenomenal artist and really has a great heart for our American men and women who serve. He is a true American, and we are just so honored that he could be with us tonight as well. Before we close our show this evening, we're going to play a couple songs from his latest album, Super Country Cowboy. We'll be playing the title cut, followed by his latest song, which is out now. And also, I encourage you to go to his website, DougBriney.com. Check out the video for Unknown Soldier. It is very moving. You will really be touched by it. And please purchase the song. It's available for complete 100% donation all the way through Veterans Day. So definitely want to do that, and do that through his website, as he said. All right. So for Rockin' Country Radio, this is going to wrap our show for this evening. We're so glad that you were able to be here. Thank you so very much. And first-time listeners, we hope that you'll be back. We'll be back here again tomorrow evening, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, with another great, awesome guest. And we hope that you'll join us for that at that time. In the meantime, have a great evening, a wonderful day tomorrow. We'll see you back here again tomorrow night for Rockin' Country Radio. I'm your host, DJ Delta Dawn, signing off and wishing you all a wonderful evening. God bless and good night.
Daddy liked George Jones, Haggard, and Buck Owens. Mama liked the Eagles and the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. When I was just a little kid, I became a hybrid, super country, evangelic, rockabilly, psychedelic cowboy. There's a new branch on the family tree, and it all starts right here with me. Said it was the devil's tongue that censored him on Sullivan. Now he's loved by everyone. There's an FM evolution country music revolution, LP, CD, ripped from your MP3, boy. There's a new branch on the family tree. It all starts right here with me. I'm a super country, evangelic, rockabilly, psychedelic cowboy. I'm a twisted, shouting, achy, breaky, bust a move on you right now, boy. Get up out of your seat. There's a new branch on the family tree. It all starts right here with me. If you remember me, then I
out Rockin' Country Radio on the web. Find us at rockincountryradio.com, on Twitter at rockin_CTRY, and on Facebook at Rockin' Country Radio.